There's a big question about how many soldiers Russia has lost in the war so far. Russia has apparently admitted to a loss of about 5,000 soldiers. Ukraine reported on August the 11th, I think, that the Russian army has lost about 43,000 soldiers. The American intelligence agencies suggest that it's about 15,000 soldiers with another 45,000 injured. So again, there's another suggestion that it could be up to 80,000 who have been injured or killed. The figures are so unclear. What we do know is that the Russian authorities are now issuing death certificates for these people, and instead of filling out forms which have been recently printed, they're using forms which were printed during the Soviet era, forms printed in 1974. I don't know whether this is a statement that Mr. Putin is pinning his hopes on a revival of the Soviet Union, or whether it's simply the indolence of bureaucracy. My own instinct is it's the latter. It's so depressing. The Russian Defense Ministry has in fact only admitted, I think, that about 3,000 people have died. It admitted about 3,000 people in March, and that about 500 people had died at the beginning of March. So Russia is playing catch up here and is being very shy about the sheer weight of numbers and the sheer and the huge amount of people who are being sacrificed on Putin's ambition. It is deeply, deeply regrettable. I think we have to make a huge distinction between the Kremlin war and ordinary Russians who are fed night after night a diet of propaganda that is very hard to resist because they have no other source of information. The majority of people in Russia do not have VPN access. They live solely on the information they're getting from the nightly news, and I know from my own experience how biased and how manufactured that news can be. If they don't like what they have got in an interview, they change it, as they changed an interview that they did with me years ago. I know this, I have the evidence, and there's a very interesting BBC report about what they did to me and about what they did to Professor Curtis from Strathclyde, the fellow who reports on elections. But in my case, I had the proof. I had the proof that Russian television media is deceitful. And so those people who religiously make comments to these videos saying that I am biased, unnecessarily and unfairly biased against Russian media, and that I'm not looking at Russian media, that I'm not listening to what other people say, this is Tommy Rot. I listen very carefully to what other people say. In this case, I'm afraid I just know better. And I listen, as I say, I listen very carefully to the sort of propaganda that is going out, and it is riddled with holes. At the moment, Russian propaganda is suggesting that the military airfield of Saki in the Crimea was not in fact bombed by Ukrainian troops. I'm afraid photographs tell a different story. It was very successfully attacked by Ukraine, and it's going to seriously damage the power of Russia in the Crimea to carry out fresh assaults. So I think congratulations to Ukraine in that case. Russia has reported very, very few deaths, and in the meantime, there seem to have been an astonishing number of casualties. I'm so sorry.